Hello friends, Arthur here, and this is ZSL Paraglide track review part 4. And we start with Undergrowth Sanctuary by Lemon. And from the beginning, it is hard track, slightly RNG entrance into the Sanctuary, I guess, because of Unity Bound. Then you have speed check jump over the pool. You need at least 71, 72 to do that. Then not the smoothest jump into it, and then you have two really hard elements. One is the blown wind from the tunnel that could easily blow you off if you're unaware, and then the loop with not the circle but oval theme, which is already not the standard one, so some people could have really bad time there. And after it, like 35 seconds, 40, you start paragliding part, which at the beginning looks really nice, looks fine, not really hard element, until you got to checkpoint 6-7, where honestly, like, arrows not really obvious what and how you need to go into the checkpoint 7, so I slightly messed up there. And then you need to do the loop, which again, loop itself is nice and fun, but first of all, you can skip it, just go up and go back, not doing like full loop. And if you won't have enough speed, you can easily fall off. So quite hard track as for ZSL. Seagliders by JustMaki. Fully flying track with interesting history, like you're in the ocean, I guess. Really nice arrows and guidelines. Unfortunately, I'm quite stupid in this moment and I didn't recognize them as arrow in the first couple of my attempts, so I doing badly there, like crashing several times, but just figuring out where to go. But then, well, it was okay. I take safe approach because I think there are a lot of ways, a lot of gaps where you can be risky and faster, but yeah, I'm still not that good in paraglide, so safe is first. And I believe that's why I was so slow, but if you will be tight on all corners where you can cut it slightly, you can easily be like gold medal. So yeah, interesting, nice decorated track. Airborne Embers by Diabler and Metalted. Yet another really cool questy track, but I was slightly, I guess I was pretty stupid on my like first 3 attempts. I just didn't understood what you need to do. But basically you need to go like fight with the fire as airplane, I guess, and you need to do 3 times. So main idea of this track is find the perfect trajectory, the perfect path to do all 3 of them, to lose as less speed as possible and go back to landing line. So I enjoy it, but I spent several attempts just to figure it out what you need to do. Oh, and one problem for me, that the bottom of the lake is pretty close, so sometimes you bump it and die. The World Beyond by Airborne Dragons. And this is quite interesting, I would say semi-hard track, hard but doable. I love that all checkpoints are pretty wide, so you can make some mistakes and you still will be able to finish them. There's several, I would say, hard elements like tubes where you need to go inside them and you can hit the walls, but again, it's quite doable. Then near the checkpoint 13 there's like land pass, and depending on your skill level you can do like white element or just go and try to do inner wall right, which like give you like 3-4 seconds. So really interesting and smooth track with several hard elements. Rocky Island Glide by Mikhail97. And I personally don't like RNG tracks. And in this case, I also don't like really narrow checkpoints, because again, this is a big problem for me and for ZSL, because you have only 7 minutes, and if you track like over 1 minute, and it have some really weird RNG elements, it's a problem because you can't control it, and yeah, you have like 5-6 attempts and you need a lot of luck. In this particular case, the RNG element, it's the fan, which you need to go through it, and you need to do it precise, not to hit any of part of the fan. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce. And if you do it correctly, you will need to do really narrow checkpoints. So I don't know. As I said, I don't like this element. It's RNG. It's not give you full control of your gliding, and as I said, other part is just build bigger checkpoints. Gliding is still a really hard thing, and made it overcomplicated by use really narrow checkpoints are, for my personal opinion, unnecessary thing. So give people more room to make mistakes, to fix them. Planetoids by Maxi12, and this is quite interesting idea. Like space, planets, and checkpoints are basically like atmosphere around the planets, and depending on your skill level, depending on your approach and riskiness, you can be really close to the surface of these planetoids and gain more time, or be slightly careful and do slowly but still able to finish. So a really interesting, really cool idea, which give you a lot of room for different trajectories. Gliding Wild by Mac Cheesy Gaming, and I have mixed feeling about this track. So I love all these big checkpoints and pretty smooth transition in most of them, but there are several really hard and slightly annoying elements. For example, checkpoint 9, it's really tight off the trajectory, so I reckon there will be most of mistakes there. And then checkpoint 10, when you need to go inside of rail station, and again, maybe it's my timing, maybe other people will be do it and have different experience, but there's train which not give you a lot of room there. And yeah, checkpoint 9, I spent like several attempts just to find it. Next time it's probably better to use bigger signs or bigger arrows. Lava Tube Cave by Mr. Child. Well, for me it's very confusing, very hard track. You can see in the chat amount of price round of 7 minutes, and that's why I'm saying that this is very hard track. So for me, all after should remember that ZSL it's 7-minute round, and people need to finish your track in 7 minutes, and I doubt that there will be a lot of people who will be finishing this track in 7 minutes like fully, because gliding is not really easy thing to do, and when you do it in really narrow elements and like changing heights, changing lines in the way how it's done here, I think it will be very hard. But again, it was just my experience. I'm not really great at paragliding, but looking on tracks that we used in Showcase, I'm not the only one who struggle with gliding. Well, Express by Rothy, and well, another level where like on edge of rules, where you need to have like 50% of the track by gliding. And well, I don't know, depend on how you good on normal track with gliding, you could be either slower or faster on some part of this track, but it is what it is. I just don't know how to judge it correctly. but as of track, I don't think it's very hard. I honestly love that you have some like war, like driving part and flying part, which is not really hard. It's mostly like several not like hard transition with really wide checkpoints and trains. So I know that trains could be really hard on your system, like lagging and FPS drop, most like cats, depending how many of them are on the track. So be aware of that, but pretty nice, pretty chilling track. Space Ace, and this is really hard map for me. I couldn't do it and it sucks, but hopefully and lucky I was able to join to JustMaki stream where he validated all tracks for judging, and I was able to record his run. And well, as you can see, so for some tracks you can use like photo mode to see the track to try to build the line, but in this case there's a lot of logic gates, like disappearing appearing parts, and it sucks. It's really tight. It's wanted you to use first person view, which again really hard to do, thanks that V16 have this cool feature like switching cameras, so you can do it whatever you want. But I would say it's too fast, it's too hard to do, and knowing that only JustMaki finished this track, well, it says something. Audacious Spirit, yet another track that I couldn't done just because of the checkpoint 2, I guess, and transition with all these fallen off train. I always hit there for like 5-6 attempts in rounds, so like spending 30 minutes to do the same over and over, it's just too hard. And yet again, JustMaki told me that he was the only one who finished this track before they skipped this track, saying that this is very hard, especially when it was like the first for their validation. So yeah, in general, like if you want to that your track was taken as part of ZSL, I think you should have like wide checkpoints, not a lot of really hard elements, because you want that most of the people finish it, not like top 3%. And the last map for this ZSL review, ZeepSwarm by Matty108, and I don't know from what game it took. People in the lobby was saying that it's more like Roblox. I don't know, never played, but if you know, please let me know in the comments. But as of track, it looks all fine, pretty wide checkpoint, the arrows that showing you guideline, the line itself are pretty smooth, pretty wide, so there's no really hard elements. Except two things, the checkpoint 7 is very confusing line and you don't see it like when you want to go there, and then the finish is also very tight, very bad. So either you want to switch to first person view and aim directly into the house, or yeah, just be lucky and precise. Okay guys, thanks for watching the last part of ZSL track review. Hope you enjoyed, hope it was useful for you. Let me know in the comments what your favorite track or your least favorite track, and see you next time. Bye and enjoy this awesome AFK.